Well, Chris and I got out again, and Lady Luck came along too. Well, welcome back to another Finding America Thursday. It is really great to see you here. Now, I got an amazing picture in my email from Monica, who lives in Southern California, sporting her brand new Finding America drop cloth. Well, I cannot thank you enough for sending me that picture, Monica, and I really hope that drop cloth brings you a lot of luck out in the field. Now, Monica has her own YouTube channel, and I really enjoy watching it. It's called Dragonfly Digs. Now, I've put a link down below in the video description, and it'd be great if you could go over and watch some of her videos and give her some subs. And do me a favor and let her know that Finding America sent you. Well, this next hunt you're about to see took place last Sunday, and it was supposed to be a really hot day, so Chris and I decided to meet up bright and early, try to beat the heat. Now, we decided to go to one of our favorite spots that we have hunted a lot, but this time I was taking the Equinox 800 and that big, beautiful 15-inch coil provided to us by our friends at Kellyco. Now, I'd yet to try the 15-inch coil on this spot, so I was pretty anxious to see what would turn up. And I had to say, I didn't have to wait very long because I started making finds right off the bat. Well, Chris and I just met up at one of our very, very favorite spots, the Never Ending Woods. If you haven't seen the videos from that, I believe I have it on a playlist called Fringe Detecting Playlist. And this is just a really special place for us. We found so many cool things here. So I told Chris, I said, hey, let's head back there. Haven't tried the 15-inch coil out here yet. And I've already dug like 8 or 9 signals, which is unbelievable because we have beat this place to death. Always find something, but not this much. I tell you what, I got it on 11 over here, pretty far down. I've already pulled it out. I was taking a look at it. And check it out. I got a really nice little garter clip. So, find lots of these here, lots of brooches, sash buckles, you name it. We've had a good time out here. So, we're gonna beat on this thing for a while, but that is a great first sign. Well, I'll tell you what, definitely have a streak going here. This was giving me a really kind of between 10 and 11 signal, but it sounded kind of big. And now I know why. Look what's in the hole. It's a bit flattened out, but it's a spoon. I'm gonna take the digger and try to break it loose a little bit. It's in there pretty good. Well, check that out. Boy, that's an old one. That's actually really old. Wow, that is awesome. There used to be a huge Victorian home, probably about 50 yards from here. So we find a lot of very cool things here. Well, let me tell you, that spoon turned out to be no ordinary spoon. When I got home and I was cleaning it, I noticed there was something stamped on the handle. So I grabbed my magnifying glass and I could see 2 letters hand stamped on the handle, an M and a C. Well, right away, I knew what that spoon was. It turns out I'd seen that spoon a long time ago, and after seeing it, I'd always wanted to find one. Now, the MC stood for Morristown College, which was a college not too far away from where we were detecting. And Morristown College was one of only 2 colleges in the state of Tennessee established after the Civil War for the education of the freed slaves. Well, the college traces its roots all the way back to one building, a building built in 1830 as a church, and not too long afterwards they added a school to the church. Now, unfortunately, a few years after that, they converted the building into a slave mart. And during the Civil War, the building was used as a hospital for both sides of the conflict. And then afterwards, after the Civil War, they reverted the building back into a school to educate the freed slaves. Now I really want to share a absolutely fascinating story about the college and a man named Andrew Fulton. Now all the way back in 1861, Andrew Fulton was actually sold as a slave in that very building. According to accounts, it was a very lively auction, resulting in him being sold for $1,661. Well, after the end of the Civil War, Andrew Fulton was a free man, and he actually returned to that very same building to study. He eventually got his degree in 1887, and believe it or not, he became a teacher at that very college for the next 35 years until his death in 1932. Well, I can't imagine what it must have felt like to get your education, earn your degree, and then teach the next 45 years in the very same building that you were originally sold as a slave all those years ago. I have to say, Andrew Fulton was an amazing man with an incredible life story. Well, Chris is finding some cool stuff too, and I already know what this is, but I'll say, what is it, Chris?
Something different.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big old thick flat button.
Yeah.
But look at that back mark.
Oh my gosh, hold it there.
Buttons limited. And it looks like it's got 2 cross sabers. Wow.
That's crazy. I have
nice
buttons limited. I was telling Chris, man, it sounds like the Gap.
Yeah. Somebody picked this up at Walmart.
I know.
The dozens of freaking flat buttons I found. Man, I've never seen that.
It's an oldie. It's going to be 1810 to 1840. And with cross sabers on the bottom back mark, that's so cool, man.
That is neat.
Oh, I think that, I've never found one like that.
Nah.
Very cool. Well, it wasn't too long, and I'm back with Chris here.
I got a piece of jewelry.
Oh, that's
now there's
cool.
the pin parts.
Oh wow, it is.
Looks like a flower brooch or pin, and
look at those diamonds.
Yeah, bling bling, man.
Holy cow. Well, I'll tell you what, well, you know how much I love that 15-inch coil. I tell you, the Equinox is just an amazing machine. But I tell you, paired with that 15-inch coil, it's just incredible. I mean, we have beat this place so hard. I know you've heard me say this, but it's true. There have been times in the past, recent past, where we didn't get much here and left. But already, they've got 3 good targets. And I had to go down for this one. It's 8 inches down. And I finally got it. It's a real thin makeup compact lid. And it does have real nice ornate border, and I believe it has some writing in the center, but it's pretty crusty, and I'm going to have to work on that at home. And it's super fragile, so I'm going to put that in my fragile box in my pouch, and probably soak this one in apple cider vinegar for a while, loosen up this crust that's on it. But heck of a cool find. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this coil so far is killing it. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and jinx myself, but this is my 4th good find. And it's just 8 inches up from where I dug the compact lid. Got an 11. Just a nice little signal. Dug down, check out what came out of the hole. That's pretty much how I saw it. And I thought, oh, it's just, you know, some clipped metal or something. But then I turned it over and noticed something on it. And I have cleaned this off, but check this out. That is a UT pennant. And it was a pin. You can see the loop here, and you can see where the pin was. And this sucker is old. Check that out. That is just so awesome. I love this find. Still has the orange and white colors. Amazing. When I first got it out, it was just absolutely dirt covered. But I saw a little peak of white paint, or white enamel, whatever it is. But, oh, such a cool little find. I am so stoked with that one. Yeah, very cool. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going super, super slow and just listening for any repeatable signal. And boy, is it paying off. Well, Chris called me over and said he got himself a piece of lead.
Well, it's either that or a nice looking rock.
Yeah.
It's a splattered round ball.
Fired musket ball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hit something pretty good.
Getting some early stuff over here.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot.
I'm gonna have to come bottom feed.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting a 25, 26, pretty far down there, about six inches or so, but I pulled it out and it's a bottle cap, but kind of an old one. It's a National Distillers bottle cap. I think that's going to be like 40s, maybe 50s. Could be a little bit older, I'm not quite sure. But pretty cool looking cap. Well, Chris made another find. What'd you get this time, man?
Pocket watch inert.
Oh, sweet.
Quite a few pieces left on that one.
Yeah.
Gear in there.
I always like finding those. You know when you're in the right spot.
Yeah, nice early one. It's got some heft to it too.
Yeah, very cool. So I got something very cool. I'm actually in the spot that Chris was in. I'm not technically bottom feeding. He went all over it with the 11-inch coil and he says, hey, I'm going to take a break from it, so why don't you take the 15, see if you can find anything. As soon as I set the coil down, I got a small fired bullet, and then this one, just up about a foot from the bullet, was giving me an 18. I popped it and I saw this come out. And when it came out, it was like that. I'm like, what the heck is that? But then, voila. That is a marine pin with the eagle on top of the globe. And you can see where the pin was attached. It almost feels like lead. It's definitely got some heft to it. But the eagle sitting on top of the globe, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an early marine pin. I'm just not sure how early, but oh, what a killer find. Oh, really happy about that. Well, this is kind of cool. I got a nice solid signal, 12, 13. It was showing really deep. Ended up being 5, 6 inches.
Yeah.
But I had Chris come over with his 11-inch coil and see if he could hit it. And what did it do when you ran over it?
I couldn't get a solid number. It was real shaky.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably something I might have just walked over.
Yeah, and then, so I unpaired my headphones so he could hear what it was doing. And it was just a solid signal.
Yeah.
And check it out. It is a pistol ball. But it's a really good example of why that 15-inch coil is so awesome.
Usually those big coils, a lot of people think they don't hit on small stuff, but my God.
Yeah, actually it's quite the opposite. I mean, the big coils, they just love small items. And coins on edge. And it sure pulled this nice little pistol ball out. Well, I got another great find. I'll tell you what, we're having a good day today. Got a 19. It was solid 19. And I had to go underneath these roots. Finally got something to pop out and check it out. It's pretty much only a couple things it could be when it's a 19. Either a zinc or an Indian. But even from here, I can see a little glimpse of green. So let me pluck this out of here and see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get the Andre pencil on this real quick. I'll be right back. Well, I have to say, this is one that I don't want to do too much field cleaning on, but I can't even get a detail yet. It's got a really thick coating on it. I'm going to have to get this home and work on it. It may have to go in the hydrogen peroxide for about 5 seconds at a time until I can see something. It's just got a really heavily built up crust on it. But very cool piece, and hopefully it turns out to be something interesting. Well, Chris called me over and said this could be a momentous occasion.
It is.
It is.
I finally did it.
No, it really is.
for me.
Well, tell them what you did, man.
I got my 1909 Wheatie.
Finally got his 1909 Wheatie.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel pretty bad because I dug 2 this year.
It don't look like, I don't know, I have to clean it up some more.
Yeah,
but there's
all right.
There's no mint mark, but it's an 09.
09. Dude, that's awesome.
Long time for that.
Whew, yes, trust me. I'm like, man, he's got to find one. It's like me with the barber half, you know, 40 years later. Hey.
I've found bust coins before this, large cents. Cool. Finally.
Very cool, man. I'm very happy for you. And there is Chris's famous 1909 Wheatie.
I'm going to send it in for grading.
Yeah, expect the word details to be on it.
Genuine.
Well, I was so happy for Chris finally finding his 1909 first year Wheatie. He'd been looking for that for a very long time. Well, unfortunately, right after that, Chris informed me he had to head back home. But I still had some time left in the day to hunt, so I decided to head over to another empty lot I had permission to, where an old Victorian home once stood. Now, this was another spot that I really wanted to bring the 15-inch coil over to, and I have to say, I got over there, started hunting, and I started making some really nice finds. Well, I am at an old house site. That's an empty lot that Chris and I have hunted for a very long time, even going back to before we started YouTube. And we did a video here called Eat Your Wheaties, and we have pounded this place. So I had not brought the 15-inch out here yet, so I wanted to bring that out. And after about 8 or 9 junk signals, I got a nice little 22. And I scratched around about 4 or 5 inches deep, and I got myself a Wheatie. And this one's going to be a 42, so that's my first good target. I'm going to keep on going here, just going real slow and digging anything that beats. Well, it looks like I got another one. I was getting about a 22 signal. I'll tell you, in this area right here, we have pounded and pounded, and I'm pretty impressed. I pulled 2 coins. Here's the second one. About 4 or 5 inches down, and I have to say the ground is bone dry, so probably have another Wheatie here. All right, I did a quick cleanup with my Andre pencil, and I can see the date now. It's going to be a 44, so not too shabby. I'm going to keep on going here and see what else I can pull. Well, I have something very cool in the hole. I tell you, it was a banging signal. It was giving me a 22. And I dug down and I saw this, and I thought, man, that's awful high for iron. But then I saw the shape of it when it came out, and I knew exactly what it was. Check it out. It's a hanging scale. Now, this would have been, a lot of these were used for weighing fish, but it could have weighed anything. But I tell you what, I found one just like this in a few videos ago. Nowhere near as nice a shape as this one. But I believe it says PS and W, and it has a star underneath that. So very cool. And then it has the measurements. So how cool is that? Well, nice little find right here. I was getting a 21, 22, about 4 or 5 inches down. I cleaned it off a little bit. I have an early Wheatie, and it's going to be a 1919. So that's really cool. And I'm just going to keep on going, digging everything I can get. I'm still going along with that 15, and I got a signal. It was 11 and 12. And I found this little piece of metal, and I thought it was just junk, you know, but I checked it out, and I noticed there's writing on it. And let me see if I can get it in here. It says something about copyright, but I really can't make it out even with the magnifying glass out here, so I'll clean it up when I'm home, and we'll see what it is. Hopefully I can figure it out. Oh, this is another nice one. It was a 22, 23. Boy, it was about 7 inches. I had a bit of a time finding this one, but I finally popped it out. You can see all the dirt I had to dig out of that hole to get to it. And it's a nice early green weedy. I have cleaned it off a little bit to save time here. Check it out, I got a 1927. So that's awesome. Another early green weedy. And I'm going to keep on going. Well, this next thing was giving me a 1718. Dug down and got a bit of iron, but kind of cool looking. It's a pretty wild looking wrench. So that's kind of neat. I thought I'd share that one with you. Whew, it is hot today, I'll tell you that. Well, before heading home and calling it a day, for some reason I decided to make one last stop. And I have to say I'm really glad I did, because this next find was crazy. You know the old saying, you never know what's going to come out of the next hole? Well, it certainly pertained to this next find you're going to see. Turned out my last find of the day was my very best find of the day. And I was going to give you a few seconds to try to guess what I found, but I know you never will. What the? Holy moly. I think I had something really cool in the hole. Now, I dug the plug and I saw it and I pulled it out a couple inches and I saw it was going to be something cool and I stuck it back in there so we can all see what it looks like. But I went and put the plug back just so you can see how I saw it, because honestly I didn't think there was going to be anything. I got a 26. It sounded like a can. It said it was 1 inch deep, and that's what I've been digging. Lots of cans in this field, but not a can this time. So I pulled the plug back and look here, this is what I saw. Got this edge here, and I kept brushing it. Look at this thing. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I have not pulled it all the way out yet, so I don't even know exactly what it is, but I thought I saw a knee. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Holy cow, will you look at this? There's a knee I saw when I pulled it out. I'm like, it looks like a leg. Whoa, look at this. It's a sculpture. Oh, it's not broken off, no. I thought it was. Oh, I thought it might have been broken, but it isn't. That sculpture is all there. Holy cow, look at that. Wow. Now this is an early piece too. This is Art Nouveau. So it's going to be like 1870s. Holy cow, will you look at that thing? That is gorgeous. What a piece. Wow. I'm telling you, this is why I dig it all, even when I'm sure it's just going to be a piece of junk. Wow. It sure wasn't this time. I've got a pouch of cans right now, but this one wasn't a can. Can you believe that thing? It was actually upside down, just stuck right in the ground. Just beautiful. Wow. Well, I'll get this cleaned up, and when I get back home and give you a picture of it, but what a piece. I just can't get over it. Well, that find was amazing and completely unexpected. Those are just the kind of finds I really enjoy making, kind of weird and strange. Well, I really hope you enjoyed watching this hunt, but don't go away just yet. I have some amazing historical photos coming up in just a few seconds from our country's illustrious past, and I hope you'll stick around for those. Now, in honor of Memorial Day coming up this coming Monday, this week's photos are going to honor the Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice for us all. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.